Can I tell you something? It is something that almost nobody is training. Even people who believe they're fit work out all the time. They are lifting weights, they're doing cardio, they're stretching and working on their flexibility, and that's great. But they are not training their balance. And balance is really the thing that is going to determine whether you stay active, capable, and independent long term. And so, hold on, before you roll your eyes and think, this isn't for me, I don't have a problem with my balance, stay with me for just a moment. Hi, I'm Carrie. I teach functional yoga for people who want to move better, strengthen their feet, improve their posture, and work on their functional strength. But balance is the one thing that shows up in everything I teach because balance is underneath everything that your body does. And today, I want to make the case for why balance deserves a place in your wellness routine, even if you already consider yourself fit, even if you don't believe that you are having an issue with your balance. So, I know when I say balance, a lot of people immediately picture an elderly person in physical therapy, holding on to a railing, trying not to fall, or maybe rehabbing after some serious incident. And that is not what I'm talking about. I am talking about stepping off a curb without hurting your back or twisting your ankle. I'm talking about walking on a hiking trail that isn't perfectly flat, turning around quickly without being wobbly, putting on your pants or your socks or your shoes without having to grab the wall, moving through the house in the dark without having to think about it. Now, if you have kids, you've probably got Legos on the floor or some other toy, so you might have to think about it. But if you're training your balance, you can step on one of those and still stay upright. So that is balance. And most people don't actually notice it's declining until something happens or they really start to feel off. But the thing is that it's not dramatic. Balance declining can be really subtle. So all of a sudden you just start avoiding uneven ground, or you hesitate on the stairs, or you stop standing on one foot in your yoga class because it feels uncomfortable. Maybe you're going to yoga class, but all of a sudden that portion of class where you're working on balance starts to get a lot more challenging than it used to be. And the thing with balance is that it's not just about safety, it's about capability. It's about what your body is going to be able to do long term. So I see this all the time. People think their balance is fine until they are actually challenged or tested, assessed, evaluated to see what their balance actually is. So all of a sudden they're trying to stand on one leg and they're realizing they can't hardly get their foot off the floor without getting wobbly and needing to put it back down. Or they're grabbing the wall, or they're using a chair, or they're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how bad my balance had declined. And that's the part that gets me. It doesn't just decline overnight. It's that they weren't testing it, they weren't challenging it. So they had no feedback that it was starting to get worse. I had a client that could not pick his foot up off the floor just in a single leg balance without having to immediately put it back down. He was very wobbly. And he used to be athletic. He used to do paddleboarding all the time. And he's like, I can't believe I used to go paddleboarding and now I can't pick one leg up off the floor. And he was not dealing with an injury or anything like this. This was really just skills that he had lost. But the thing with balance is that those skills, they start to just quietly go away if you don't use them. And most people aren't actively challenging their balance. So they don't notice the decline until they actually try. And honestly, that realization can be scary, but it doesn't have to be scary. It's information, it's just data. Because the important thing to know is that balance is a skill. So it's not a trait. It's not something that you either have or don't have. It's a skill. Skills start to get worse or fade when you stop practicing them. When you were a kid, you challenged your balance constantly. You were running, you were jumping, you were climbing, you were on uneven playground surfaces. You could turn around quickly, fall down, maybe even get back up, no problem. Your nervous system and your body was constantly adapting. But now we have flat sidewalks. We are sitting in chairs all day. We're going to the gym, but we've got stable gym machines and we do the same movement all the time. We have a very predictable environment with very predictable movement patterns. And your body just isn't being asked to adapt anymore. So the thing with the skill is that if you don't challenge it, you're going to start to lose it. That's just how the body works. The good thing about that, though, is skills are trainable. So, this part, I will say, really surprised me when I learned it because I would have thought the answer was very different. But your ability to stand on one leg is one of the strongest predictors of long term health. Honestly, I would have thought it was strength training, but the ability to stand on one leg, going to say it again, is one of the strongest predictors of long term health. And the reason for that is because balance reflects your whole system. So your nervous system is communicating, the strength in your muscle mass is communicating, your joint mobility, your coordination. And so if your balance is declining, it almost never is just balance. It's a signal that the whole system is not working together. But here's the thing, when balance is strong, that's a signal too. It means your system is working together well. And that is why I care about this so much. I'm not necessarily worried about falling tomorrow, although, disclaimer, I did fall last year on the trail and it absolutely sucked. Okay. But I do care about being capable 10, 20, and 30 years from now. So here is one of the most important pieces because we're talking about balance being a skill and it's trainable. So I want to make this very clear. It is never, ever, 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 ever too late. I always hear some version of, I can't do that. My body can't do that. Everything hurts. I'm stiff. I'm sore. I guess I just need to be careful on the stairs from now on. Okay, no, no, we're not going to live like that. Balance responds to training at every age. And I have watched people make significant changes in weeks, not years. You just have to start giving your body the right input. And once you start challenging it, you are going to see improvement. You do not have to be athletic. You really just have to be intentional. Your feet are trainable. Your posture is trainable. Your strength is trainable. Your nervous system adapts. You just have to give it something to adapt to. So here's the biggest takeaway that I want you to take from this. We don't just keep our balance just because we used to have it. Doesn't matter that you used to go paddleboarding 20 years ago. I mean, that matters. That's cool. Okay. But it's not going to help your balance now. We have to keep training it. And most people aren't training it. And so that is why they are surprised when they finally test it. But the good news is that you can test it, you can improve it, you can maintain it. So in my next video, I'm going to break down exactly why balance starts to decline after 40, what's happening in your body, and go watch that next. Once it's up, I will link it here. And if you are ready to start improving your balance in a structured way, I do work with people one-on-one to do exactly this, to train your balance. The link will be in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.